all sort of happened. So a lot of the points, but this garden has become bigger and richer, and we're going to extend there and have like a little orchard area with maybe 3 or 4 trees and berries and all that.
Well, for like the past 3 years, almost every event I come to, the community food or the volunteer food has got some of this food in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is all for like food bank and for volunteers. So we don't sell it at all. We just give it away to food bank
So,
usually.
so we're at the Crestone Community Garden. Is this just the one, or are there multiple?
Well, the other thing is that it kind of inspired a lot of private residents to build gardens, and some of them are community gardens in that the neighborhood participates in it. So maybe 5 people in the area, the closest houses to the garden, they'll share in the food. It's kind of nice to know that people have taken it on, and also that they share food, because you always have more food than you really need in a garden. And so now we're doing canning and freezing and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to build a root cellar on the back corner over there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We'll be able to store all the stuff.
Well, this garden, I was in it last year, is really biodiverse. Can you take us through it and show us what's going on?
Yeah, sure. Oh, let me pull this out.
Yeah.
This has got herbs and flowers, but all the herbs are like medicinal or aromatic or something. So they're all usable, and a lot of the flowers, of course, these are edible. They're beautiful on this side. They get a little bit more shade, so they're happier.
Tiger lilies, you can eat the flower, the stems, the tubers, the whole plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a Nanking cherry, which was abundant this year for the first year. That one and that one, the two of them.
Ours in Pagosa were jammed.
Yeah. I've never had them. I mean, I had like 3 on it last year because it's only 3 years old.
And they're delicious.
Yeah, they're not bad. I mean, they have these
big pits, but they're worth it.
A lot of power in the flesh.
Yeah, friends of mine, they make jams and syrups and stuff out of them. So, but we just ate them. And I have a bunch of seeds, so that you got to crack the seed, I'm sure, to get it to do anything.
Yeah.
But I have other friends that are like getting root, making roots from some of the stems, and so we're passing.
Like air layering.
Air layering, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this whole garden was originally in the shape of a spiral, and it was quite nice, but it was hard to get in. So I turned it into like a curve on this side and a straight line on that side. And so I have some long rows and then I have short rows. And I think we really have to redo it because I don't think I get as much food as I can still, with like maybe smaller rows or straight ones or something. It's just figuring out the drip systems.
I'm looking at chard and carrots and nasturtium and parsley and plantain and collards and kale and sorrel, all in 10 feet. Oh, and then you've got, what is over there? Is that chamomile?
We had a ton of chamomile. The chamomile took over the onion bed, which is here now.
Jesus.
And so we eventually harvested all the chamomile in here. And we just have mainly onions, but the nasturtiums are coming up everywhere, and I can't figure that out. And then the flowers, of course, come up in August. But mainly it's food, and I would have to pull this out. This is a lovage.
Oh, lovage. I call that parsley. That's the lovage.
Yeah, that's the one, and it drops its seed everywhere.
You want to pull that one out?
Do I want to pull it out? Well, I'll get a fork and fork it.
Now, lavage is great here because it's hard to grow celery, and this is a celery substitute for a pot herb.
Yeah, it's very strong though.
Yeah,
it's absolutely hard to eat.
Yeah,
but this one I think is a giant parsley, which we will harvest and put in a salad.
Okay, I might have been right.
Most of it, I mean, we've been harvesting all summer, so there's a lot of the carrots are gone, but this was full.
Jerusalem artichoke back there.
Where?
On the back,
those, yes, Jerusalem artichokes. I put them in the backs because they don't bother.
They'll spread.
Yeah, they spread like crazy. And after the rain, things are falling over, so you're gonna have to tiptoe around stuff. Collards, we've already harvested them completely down, and they've come back. This is what we did Friday in the rain. We made kale chips, and that's what we sold at the fair.
Nice.
People loved them. I mean, it was really $3 a bag, and
baked. You bake them, right?
Yeah, we baked them, and so that's why you see it's all cut right here. But this was a kale row, and the kales just kind of took over. And of course, this is a wild aster. that popped in. to
And
see us.
what's the elevation here?
82, I think. 8 to 8.
8,200 feet. We are in Crestone, Colorado at the community gardens. We're going to go look in that hothouse because we all need a tomato.
Yeah, I actually have to water it today. So as you can see, we have tons of kale coming up everywhere, and I still can't figure out what to do with it all. And there's another. This is not a lovage. This is a valerian. A valerian is a extremely valuable medicinal root that we tincture. And I've got them growing over there. That white puffy stuff at the very end, that's valerian.
Massive beets.
And the beets are, well, we've harvested a lot of them, as you can see, but then I did get inspired to replant. So a lot of these are replanted, like right in here. This row is replanted, but we're still just pulling them out. So there's not a lot left. And you can see the chamomile just wants to come up everywhere. I don't, but we harvested a lot and we sold it at the fair.
God forbid.
Purslane.
Yeah, the purslane is quite abundant too in some areas. I try to keep it down because it can really take over the nutrition.
Yeah, it just wants it all.
It wants it all, yeah. So and it'll just stunt everything else.
Yeah, so make sure if you got purslane in your garden that you're putting this into the salad because this is pulling out the nutrients from the soil and it's delicious.
From the other plants. If it's growing around other plants, it'll stunt them. Yeah.
Well, it certainly didn't hurt that kale.
Yeah. Right.
No, I can't
They seem
believe
to be symbiotic.
these are delicious, and I bring
Oh,
these to
the flower heads?
Wow,
Yeah, those are
I'll
delicacies.
bring a bag of those elephant cloud and people will buy them up. So we've got that's what we're harvesting too.
Yeah.
And
Broccoli?
this is the kale in seed.
Kale and seed.
Yeah, and so
Oh,
this
is
will
it
be next
dinosaur
year's
kale?
kale. It's a dinosaur kale, all right. And these are spinaches.
Spinachy. No.
That's a green orac.
There's your green orac.
And there was a red one I just saw right here.
Yeah, there's a few left. I mean, they dominate, so I pull a lot of those out.
Yeah.
But there's your orac seed.
And over there, that's really nice green orac seed. That huge.
Yeah, there's a green orac and the red oracs. And then, see, now, as I said, the storm has like pulled everything down.
Giant mammoth dill.
Yeah, and this is kind of a flower bed with the bird feeder in there, and this is just a bird bath area with flowers. Hey, Peter! Hello. Come on in.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Look at this.
it
I've
gets
never.
really messy this time of the year.
The
This is
green
when
orac
goes
seed
in.
looks almost like grapes.
Yeah.
And here's
We
some.
tried to grow grapes. Now you're stepping on the red onions. Oh, sorry. All right. This row is always insane. Now I had peas here. We just pulled our peas out, but we had snow peas and snap peas, and we had some of the other ones, the ones that you.
What's that plant? A rhubarb?
This one?
No.
Yeah, this is it's hollyhock.
Oh.
And the hollyhocks, things creep in. So what I did with this row last year was I put all kinds of seeds in. So I had clovers, and then these where are they? Right there. Those are feverfews. But I mean, this is a very fertile row.
And a giant opium poppy there.
Yeah, the poppies like it. They come up in August, and they just take over when something else, is pulled out. They kind of
Massive.
fill
Those
it.
African marigolds, I've never seen them that
Aren't they
big.
amazing?
Huge heads.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's smaller ones. That's the second year. This is the first year. That's the second year. So they revert back. I think this was from a packet, or somebody gave me a few seedlings, and so it reverted back.
What are some of the pests you deal with, if anything? Because I mean, everything seems to be doing just abundantly well. You try don't have any problems.
Voles.
Bulls.
That really can't do nothing about them.
But all these marigolds in the center are acting. They produce a pesticide.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you have biodiversity packed this deep with like 8 species in a square foot, you're gonna each plant's gonna generate its own predator, prey, and it should
Balance itself out.
stabilize.
And the soil is very rich because when we built this, we put in there's some birds in there. They're getting all seeds. When we put cardboard down over the grass,
Yeah.
and then we put in a layer of manure, then a layer of straw, then a layer of manure, then a layer of straw, then a layer of compost, a layer of straw, and a layer of compost.
Wonderful.
And then we built the beds on top of that. So
And I'm sure you get mushrooms coming up.
we get a few. But
Yeah, so you have mycelium in here.
yeah, we do.
It wouldn't be doing this well.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you didn't.
but it was rich compost that I got from somebody, who makes it. And we do have a compost person now. She's, Goldie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's making compost as a community compost, so we could all share it.
And who are you and what is your role here at the garden?
I'm the proprietor
Oh.
and the planter and the teacher, because I have volunteers that come on Saturday and they just say, "What do I do next, Ginny? What's this? And how do I do that?" And so I'm actually kind of training a bunch of people, and we will eventually turn this into a cooperative.
Nice.
So that even though we will give food to the food bank, we will take it and cook for ourselves, but we will can it and store it. And that was one of the things about resiliency, is that you have a place where you're storing extra food. So if we can get the Adobe workshop that was down in the corner, well, he's going to come and help me build one over here. We'll have a workshop in May.
And you'll have that will be your root cellar.
A root cellar workshop, yeah.
Is it going to be halfway in the ground?
Yeah, it's
yes.
on that sloping area.
That's awesome. What do you got going on in the tomato room?
Well, there's in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been there in 3-4 days since the winter.
And so the same as last year, this whole back wall is where your big squashes are.
Yeah, no, those are all zucchinis. The squashes are usually where these flowers are.
Okay.
Because now I have an apricot tree in there, and I have elderberry trees on this side. So we rebuilt an area for squashes, but these tomatoes are coming up, but they're not red yet. But we got quite a few.
Oh wow, that's packed in there.
Yeah. Yes, that's comfrey. Yeah.
And it's still good for fixing nitrogen, and it's knit bone. It's known as knit bone, right?
Yes, because of the bone, the minerals in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the root is very good also for any kind of ulceration.
Oh, wow.
So it's mucilaginous, just muci.
Mm-hmm.
And you take the root and you just either make a tea or mash it up and put it in tea, probably.
Yeah.
And then take that, and it'll cure your ulcers.
Oh, wow, that's so good to know.
Well, also,
and you make like a sun tea with it, and soak your hands in there too.
Oh.
Helps with arthritis and any types of issues.
Nice.
a lot of people call mullein the toilet paper plant.
Yeah.
The reality is that the mullein leaf is actually has needles on it.
Yes.
And most people react to it. It's actually abrasive. So it's not something you'd want to wipe your butt with. But comfrey, that's
pretty abrasive too.
It's better than mullein.
Yeah, it's better than mullein.
Yeah.
Well, the mullein we use as a lung.
Yeah, as an expectorant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do grow. Some of the mulleins come up in here, and I just collect the leaves. And of course, this is a tomatillo, a late blooming one.
Oh, look at you.
Oh, yeah.
She is like kung fu.
Yeah.
What was that?
They just sit there. I mean, I'm getting good again.
So there's a tomatillo down here that's ready.
It
has all the
there's
lanterns
a couple
on.
good tomatillos. So you really can't get through here very well. These are little tiny cherry tomatoes that we didn't have room for inside. So I have no idea what they're going to do. But a friend gave them to me, so I planted them.
They need a flower.
Other than that, there's zucchinis and yellow squashes all through here.
Look at the size of the stalks.
I know.
Jesus.
And they're just putting out flowers. I have no idea.
That's a Frankenstalk.
You know what I could do? I could put white plastic, clear plastic over this, and that'll keep the winds and the cold from at night, and so they may produce. But I used to grow tomatoes out here, and I had very little. So, and then these are all squashes. Quite a few in there, yellow squashes.
Now we saw them from the other side.
Yeah.
Frankensquash.
Frankensquash. More lettuce. So this lettuce will go to the elephant cloud. Because there's so much of it, I'll just bag it up and bring it to her, and she'll sell it.
She sells green orac at the cloud.
She does, green and red.
Nice.
I mean, the thing is that when people come in there, she thinks, I don't know if I'll sell it. And I said, anybody that comes in and sees these kale sprouts and they're going to buy it immediately.
They've never seen them before in the
But
supermarket.
they don't actually know what it is. It's just green and edible.
It's green and edible, yes.
So there's more kale, and this is, of course,
arugula.
Arugula. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Late planted.
And you cover this because ours gets holes, tons of holes, and you really can't use it. This looks amazing. You don't get the little black beetles?
We get them early in the spring, but once it heats up, the air heats up and the soil heats up. We don't. Well, I see a couple.
A couple, but I mean, mine have a million holes.
No, I think the soil is rich enough.
Yeah, it's nice.
And apparently, I haven't had much problem. But in the spring, March, April, and early May, I do get them.
But you can cover them with the white cloth, and it keeps them off.
Oh, good. All right, so here's another big zucchini.
Oh my!
Yeah, we haven't harvested in a week, so we are going to be for the we are going to have a harvest festival on the 30th, And we're all going to bring food, and I'm going to bring like stuffed zucchinis because we've got like
Oh,
5
beautiful.
of these big ones. Yeah, so more kale if you guys want any kale. And this is a flower nerd patch, and yeah, there's now each it's funny, but each tomatillo is different. This one seems to produce great big puffy ones, and then it takes forever for them to actually grow big enough to mature.
The average harvest date for a tomatilla is 120 days.
Okay, yeah, it's long.
It's one of the longest fruits.
And so I grow some in the greenhouse early in the spring, and then plant them. But these came up by themselves, so
Man.
they're a little later.
They look like little Chinese lanterns, kids.
Yeah,
This is
they're
where
so cute.
salsa verde comes from.
Yes, that's where it's from.
High altitude garden.
Yes, I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a while.
Yeah, they're pretty good. And then that will be an elecampane, if you know what that herb is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an elecampane. And right next to it, behind it, is and these are forest box. These are just flowers. This is echinacea.
Echinacea.
Yeah, that's
Rudbeckia.
Rudbeckia. That's the echinacea flower, and then the root is what you use. This is horseradish, and then those are flowers and more kale.
Horseradish with a grasshoppy.
Look! There's another one.
I got one.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 of them right here.
This is her Kung Fu Ninja skills.
Here.
Now we eat them. We will eat
Yeah,
the bugs.
This one.
Eat them for Klaus.
Oh, I ate them once. They taste like grass.
It's like grass.
Yeah, they do. A friend of mine from Greece, when I lived at Arkasanti, he came and we captured every grasshopper we could find, and he cooked them in this absolutely delicious sauce.
Yeah.
He was from Crete.
Uh-huh.
And then we had a dinner. We served it to the community, and it smelled so good. But when you bite into it, tastes like grass.
That's awesome.
Grass? Grass.
Grass.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
well.
not marijuana grass.
Well, if you
Grass.
dropped the G and R, it could have tasted like.
Gas.
So here we got. We finally
Peppermint.
got a. That's a rhubarb.
The rhubarbs, yeah, the rhubarbs we have to harvest.
That looks like a chocolate or an orange mint.
There might be one in here, but I think it's mostly peppermint. And the thing is, I learned something about it. Don't water it. You water it, it doesn't have any fragrance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it doesn't have enough stress.
It's similar to cannabis, where if you want to bring up the terpenes,
Yeah.
you have to let it dry in
Yeah.
that fruiting phase.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now this one is a Leonoris nepetata. And it's a Leonoris nepetata, and it's actually psychoactive.
What is
These
that? Is
flowers
that the seed or? That
the
looks.
seeds are in there. And this is what I think is psychoactive, although a friend of mine just read that the leaves are also.
Wow.
So it's a mild psychoactive. In other words, you just get kind of flippy for a while and then it dies down.
Only in Crestone.
Yeah, well, the thing is that somebody gave me the seed. Yeah, this is horehound seed, and somebody just brought that to me. A neighbor brought this to me, so we will grow horehound in here
Beautiful.
also.
All right.
So yeah, everything you see is either an herb or a flower, edible flower, or the broccolis have just come up. That's our second harvest.
Bees love it.
So
Yeah.
you cut the heads off to the ground and then you get another shoot out. You don't replant seed.
Not really. I just harvest them like right below here,
Yeah.
but then they send branches out,
Okay.
side branches. So there's
yeah.
one that
Took
didn't.
some in the dogs.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that didn't come up this spring. I mean this summer, so it's coming up now. So some of them are late. This would have been, I think, what's it called? The kind of yellowish one that has these spirals. Broccoli Romanesco.
No, Romanesco.
Yeah, we had a couple Romanescos in here too.
It's got
But
the
somebody cut all the leaves
Fibonacci.
off because they have these big leaves that cover them, and you think, well, is anything gonna happen in the middle? And so this one, my friend cut all the leaves off, so I don't see anything happening. So we can cut that down. But anyway, that's broccoli. More. This is a mixture here of chamomile, and this is what's this called?
Viola.
Viola tricolor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Dill all over the place. Dill take over. Evening primrose. These are.
That's psychoactive.
Evening primrose.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The seed, I believe.
Oh, all right. Well, I pulled most of the seed off because it will come up everywhere if I don't. And anyway, this area is turnips and rutabagas and more kale.
Beautiful. All this tucked into what's this, like an eighth of an acre?
I don't know.
Tenth?
It's 50 by 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, just about 50 by 60.
That's like a tenth of an acre. And you can do it too.
Yeah, and the apple tree, which had been abused by the bear, as well as not being cared for, is starting to produce beautifully. Last year we were highly abundant and they were delicious, but this year we only got about 20 fruit on it, and the bird got it.
You said you have an apricot back there. It's the first year we've had 5-year manchurian apricots. Some of them were filled with apricots.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, it was
heard,
awesome.
Yeah.
And the gamblokes.
And this one I'm gonna do.
Yeah, we've got acorns all over the woods now.
Oh, nice.
It's
you have oak patches.
Huge oak patches.
Oh, nice.
The leaf litter, when you rake it back, it's just so rich.
That's the original landscape of the United States.
Yeah.
Oak roads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's hard to find now because they've either died off or we've, built on those spots. So I was gonna say one other thing. I can't remember. Anyway, that's the behind you. That's the valerian, and it's producing seed right now.
Valerian
This is all valerian. Valerian is a sedative herb that you take if you're really tense and nervous. It'll just calm you right down. Catnip is another one that calms you.
That grows like a weed on our property. We could now have a catnip farm in
You have a
Pagosa.
cat?
We have lots of cats. Yeah.
Well, I sold a lot of it yesterday.
That's funny.
What do you sell it fresh?
Yeah, I just hung them, dried them, and people just took it because they have cats, or it's a soothing tea.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I make a
Yep.
tincture with
You can even smoke it.
Yes.
Yes, it does the same thing as the tea does.
Interesting.
It's very relaxing.
But it probably hurt your throat.
No, it's all. Add some mullein.
Okay.
So Jenny, this is amazing. I'm sure people are going to want to get involved. Like how they can just show up on Saturday.
Yeah, we have about 15, 12, anywhere between 8 and 15 show up every Saturday.
What time?
9 o'clock. Some show at 10.
And do they have to be a resident of Crestone?
Not really, but
Yeah.
I don't know why they would come from another town unless they could build one in their own town, but they could definitely come and help
To
us.
gain knowledge on how to do it, like
Yeah.
down in Saguache or wherever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I welcome anybody. Of course, if we get 15 people, there's not that much to do. Then we'll make a big lunch.
Well, you can begin spreading the garden.
Yeah. Well, this is a new addition right here. It was going to be a squash garden, but the squashes didn't come up, so we grew lettuce.
Oh, I see. It's a bump out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna turn this into an orchard area. We've been given permission.
Oh, in front of that.
Yeah, in front of that. Then
Nice.
we're gonna get more fencing and put fencing up, and that will be trees, some berries. Like this is raspberry here, and it's just starting to produce berries. Some of them have berries.
I wonder
on
if you ever tried growing pawpaw here. Like on
What?
pawpaw?
Yeah, it'll grow. It grows to zone 5A.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause
We're on the cusp.
Yes, I would
pawpaw
love
down the
that.
streams would be amazing.
Oh
with-
my God, yeah.
With the beam on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cold weather would get it.
Oh, in Northeast Ohio,
No.
I'm from, it's
No.
all over the place.
Okay.
Prolific.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
It
pawpaw.
grows in the
probably
woods
like
in
the
northern
dry.
PA where it gets -20.
Wow.
Like I lived in Hawaii for a while, and like the star fruit that grows on the wet side of the island
Yeah.
is totally different from the star fruit on the desert side.
What?
It like
Oh.
loves the desert. I feel like pawpaw would do good in the desert.
Okay. That's a big tree, though, right?
No, they get 15 feet.
They're a
They're
little
shade
scraggly.
trees. They grow in the shade.
That's what I was going to tell
Yeah.
you about the apricot.
Okay.
I watched a video by Peaceful Gardens in Canada. They're an organic permaculture orchard. They started as organic and they became permaculture.
Not Fermi Farms, Miracle Farms.
I'm not. No, it's called.
That's
Peaceful-
Stefan Subkowiak.
Yes.
That's Miracle Farms
Oh.
in Canada.
Oh, okay. I get it wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, he showed us how to take a big tree, and as it's coming up and it's only like a couple feet high, you take the young branches that come to the side and you weight them down.
You bend them down.
Yeah, and so by the time you've got it up to here, you've got all your branches, and so it never gets really, really big.
Yeah.
And you can harvest really easily.
Right. And another
Really
thing he
easy.
learned is that a lot of people, when you're learning about pruning, they prune off the bent down tree branches. Those are the ones that bear the most fruit.
Fruit only
Right.
grows on horizontal branches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's like,
yeah, that's interesting. So those are just starting to bow.
yeah.
And so they're starting to produce a little bit.
That's
of
a nice
But this
tree.
was a mess. It had scab like crazy, and the bear tore off all the branches.
Oh,
So
the bear-
now
the-
it's the bear. Well, before
He'll
the
steal?
fence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now he can't really get in, so he can get something on that side.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah.
Jenny, thank you for all the work you're doing here.
You're
Thank you for the tour. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Come out to the
I
Crestone.
know that when I saw you, you were going to give me some tips on it. So you still have to do that.
All right, cool.
Okay, at
Peace.
some point.